In late April 2025, Israel was suddenly forced to confront one of the worst wildfires in the nation's history. The blaze ignited around noon on April 30th in the dense forest areas west of Jerusalem and quickly spread to regions such as Neve Shalom, Canada, Park, Latrun, Ramat Beit Shemesh, and Meselat Zion. Strong winds, dry weather, and highly flammable vegetation caused the fire to spread at a frightening pace, consuming over 25,000 dunams of forest land equivalent to more than 6,000 acres. As firefighters struggled with the rugged mountainous terrain, several eyewitnesses reported seeing unusual flare-ups, raising suspicions of intentional arson. A number of suspects were detained for investigation. This disaster marked the beginning of a wave of extreme natural events that Israel would face in just the days that followed. Stay tuned to follow the next developments in this story. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the latest updates. Within just a few hours of igniting, the fire quickly spiraled out of control. Thick black smoke rose high into the sky, blanketing western Jerusalem and spreading into residential areas. Residents of Ramat Beit Shemesh, Neve Shalom, and Latrun were forced to evacuate urgently as the flames came within a few hundred meters of their homes. Strong winds made firefighting efforts extremely difficult. Several neighborhoods were surrounded by fire and smoke, prompting rescue teams to conduct overnight evacuations by helicopter. More than 10,000 people were forced to leave their homes and seek shelter in sports centers, schools, and temporary military encampments. The fire not only spread quickly, but also devastated key ecological landmarks of Israel. Canada Park, a well-known picnic site, lost approximately 70% of its area, with more than 20,000 dunams of forest completely destroyed. The park's ecosystem, home to many endemic plant and animal species, was reduced to ashes. Beyond Canada Park, numerous smaller nature reserves and forest corridors near residential areas were severely impacted. Hundreds of century-old trees were burned, and countless birds and wild animals perished, leaving a scene of devastation in what was once a thriving natural environment. The disaster didn't stop in the forests. Air quality in Jerusalem plummeted to extremely hazardous levels, at times rated the worst in the world for over 48 straight hours. Hospitals in the capital reported hundreds of emergency cases due to respiratory issues, headaches, coughing, and suffocation from the dense smoke. Schools, shopping centers, and all outdoor activities were suspended. People with pre-existing respiratory conditions had to evacuate or isolate at home with air purifiers running at full capacity. Transportation infrastructure also suffered significant damage. The major Highway 1 linking Jerusalem and Tel Aviv had to be closed for several hours, causing severe traffic congestion and disrupting supply chains between Israel's two largest cities. At the same time, Route 3, Route 443, and dozens of internal roads were completely shut down for firefighting operations. several areas experienced localized power outages due to fallen poles and burned cables. Telecommunications centers had to operate on backup power to maintain communication within the danger zones. In response to the emergency, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared a national state of emergency and ordered full support from all defense and rescue forces for the firefighting effort. More than 160 firefighting teams, 12 firefighting planes and helicopters from the Air Force were deployed day and night. International assistance quickly followed with Italy, Croatia, Spain, and France, sending water-dropping aircraft, specialized fire extinguishing equipment, and dedicated rescue teams. The Israeli Defense Forces IDF helped set up supply stations, security checkpoints, and medical support units at evacuation centers. By the time the fire was brought under control, at least 45 people had been injured, 18 of whom were hospitalized for smoke inhalation or thermal burns. While no fatalities were reported, the material and emotional toll was enormous. Thousands of residents were still unable to return home, and hundreds of families lost their residences or livelihoods. Local communities organized donation drives, psychological support, and special care for the elderly and children affected by the fire. Aerial footage revealed once-green forests reduced to charred tree stumps and scorched earth. Scientists warn it could take years or even decades for the hilly ecosystems around Jerusalem to recover. This event stands as one of the clearest examples of the direct impact of climate change in the Middle East, where summers are arriving earlier, heat waves are becoming more intense, and wildfire risks are higher than ever. The wildfire in Israel not only scorched tens of thousands of acres and caused severe environmental damage, but also served as a stark warning about the threat of natural disasters in an era of extreme climate. As summers arrive earlier with prolonged heat waves and low humidity, the conditions are ideal for wildfires to ignite at any time, even in places once considered safe. This disaster clearly highlights the urgent need to invest in early warning systems, strengthen firefighting capabilities, and rethink land planning for forested areas near urban zones. In your opinion, what should Israel and Mediterranean countries do to be more proactive in facing future wildfire threats? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to follow the channel to stay connected with real-world stories that matter.